Hello and good evening. This is Grillenheimer. I really wish I had the use of my hands right now, because I'm having to pick up a part to replace our shower head at the house. It's gone kaput. There's a split decided to form in the hose. And so we're getting squirted in all the wrong places and water's just going everywhere. I got to replace it. But the point of this video is not Transformer related. This is Gamers Need Christ related. And you probably can't hear it, but it's a jazz music version of Galaga 88, I think. You probably can't hear it, so I'm not worried about it. But I just felt really led to mention something. I don't have the Bible with me. I don't have a Bible verse ready. But I did myself, I asked Christ into my heart at a very young age. Whether that meant anything, I don't know. Yet I have a recollection of it. And then I kind of asked again officially with a friend during a pretty dark time during my college years. Well, my family, we were not a church-going family. As I've mentioned before, my mom wanted to go and, around Christmas, not on Christmas, but around Christmas, and we would go to the local Methodist church normally. That was near us, and sometimes around Easter, and we went kicking and screaming. We didn't want to go, and it's not that we didn't believe. My mom may have taught me how to read through the Bible. I don't know. Do you remember how you learned to read? Probably not. That's a story for another day. But she did try to teach me the Bible stories. I'll just call it that. I don't know if I believed it 100% as a kid. I really loved them. They were out there. They were outlandish. They really grabbed your attention. Some were pretty gross. Some were pretty cool. Being fed to lions. Being put in a furnace and not dying. Being stoned to death. Chopping off the head of Goliath. All sorts of strange things that I wouldn't say that were hard to believe. But I really never doubted the Bible. I don't know why, but I've never really been cynical or critical about the biblical works collected as we have them. And so I was really never taught much. I won't say I've been self-taught, but I didn't really search that kind of stuff out as a preteen or a teenager. I really didn't get into, I'll call it just the truth, or the word, the gospel, the good word, until I was almost in my early 20s. And I got to thinking earlier today how there's a song, and it's based on a verse in the Bible, a parable in the Bible about Christ, the shepherd leaving the 99 to search out the one that is lost. There's a Christian group that sings a song based on that, and it's a great song. I don't have the name, I don't have the artist, I don't have the verse, I have nothing right now. I apologize. but it probably wouldn't be that hard to look up. It's contemporary and it's fairly new, maybe less than 25 years old, I guess, song-wise. Now, I wouldn't call it a vision, more like a realization. And I was walking at work and I had used the restroom. I'd gotten some coffee or water and I was trucking it back to my desk. And it was just like as if a light clicked. No pun intended, because about what I'm about to say. It was like I could see the earth. It was like, and I just stopped dead in my tracks. I'm glad nobody was around. They thought, are you okay? We need to squeak you with some oil. What happened? Thinking I was a tin man or something. But I just sort of stopped, because this image of the globe sort of came to mind, and the wonder of angels being amazed at how we can change and how we can, when we turn away from God, and from turning away from Him to looking back to Him, is a wonder, something they don't understand, how we can change. Of course, I'm not doubting that we have fallen angels and the origin of that by any means. And it was like all these little lights all over the earth. And there were some there, and all of a sudden, slowly, all these other lights started just sort of appearing. It was if we were all turning towards God, and when we do, it's like we're lit up with as if like flipping a light switch. And it was just, I was going to say illuminating. I'm trying not to make puns, I swear. But it was interesting. It was this weird thought that just sort of popped in my head, as if everything just sort of came together and made sense. Because Jesus did say that we are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. And all these different little metaphors and similes, mostly metaphors, that He, or both, that He said throughout His 3-year mission to help explain to us how we should live our life. And this is these videos are part of my mission. And I've understood that from day one. That's why I started the Gamers Need Christ videos. Years ago, in my den, in the floor, with sunglasses and a white t-shirt and a game on behind me. And I kind of miss doing that. I really do. And the game has sort of turned from video games to the Transformer card game. And then being creative doing that, which I'm still spellbound. I don't, like I said, it's almost as if it's a God-given skill. All of a sudden, this creative movement within me. No, I'm not having a movement. That I'm being used in a way to help maybe say, hey, if you are a non-believer, if you don't like the name of my channel, what's stopping you from agreeing? What do you have to lose to just simply believe, to simply search Him out? And that's what this all comes down to, is that I realized I wasn't exactly searching him out, more like he was searching for me. And once I realized my Messiah, my Christ, our Savior, was searching for me, I searched for him right back, and boom, we connected. We have a relationship. You can also have a relationship with Christ. And it can be a wonderful thing. It can be a turning point in your life. I do not remember the exact day, the exact moment of when all that happened or what day. I mean, I do remember two distinct times. When I was around about 4 years old, when an uncle passed. And when I was around 20, 21 years old, in a music practice room with a friend who was my big in the fraternity I was in at the time. And both were turning points in my life, turning me back to him. Because we're fallen people in a fallen world. And we have to help each other out. Whether, and I feel very led to helping you out. Whether you're a believer or not. A true Christian a true Christian will reach out to those. Color doesn't matter. Your hereditary doesn't matter. Your religion really shouldn't matter either. Love really knows no bounds. Values can be crossed. Foundations can be turned upside down. But as true Christians, nobody of any caliber should never not. Everyone needs to be a target for us to start a dialogue with. And it doesn't matter who you are. You know, I don't want to say this again. I don't like mentioning it. And I'm not embarrassed by it, but it's not how I want to live. I made a choice. I may have an attraction, not anymore, to, same-sex stuff. And I knew it. I didn't like it. It was a battle. It has been won. The other side does not want you to think that you can fight it, that you can go against it, because you're not born with it. It is a choice. If I didn't have a choice, I wouldn't be married and have two beautiful kids right now. Yeah, I have issues. Every family is going to have issues. Every family at our core are going to have difficulties, valleys, challenges. What would life be if we were not challenged? From a physical standpoint, which, because of my past with my leg Perthes, yeah, I have been physically challenged before. I've also had to learn how to walk twice. If you took any time at all to watch that 35-minute video I did, and realize, yeah, I had to learn how to walk twice as a near preteen. There's always a choice. I'm teaching my own family. I have one family member in particular. I'm not mentioning anyone's name, who it is, who it might be, or anything. That there's always an option. There's always another way. And this has nothing to do with sexual preference. This just has to do with everyday life. That Your way is not always the right way. There's always another way to fix something, to find out something, to figure out the truth, to figure out whatever, to figure out how something works, how to fix something. There's always another way. We have to think outside our box and out of our comfort zone sometimes. And it's not always easy for just anybody. So, I didn't mean to even go this long. I can see my time. I meant to stop around the 10-minute mark. I apologize. But I just felt very led to doing it. Is yeah, if you can hear the rain and see the rain, it's raining right now in my state of Alabama. So if you got this far, thanks for watching. You know, things to chew on, things to think about, and just always remember, even if you don't believe in God, you're not even searching for Jesus, He is still searching for you. He never stops. He never sleeps. He knows what all of us are doing. He knows the days of our lives, the number of hairs on our head. And He loves, and I love this, every stinking one of us. So with that, have a blessed night. Have a safe day. And again, thank you for watching. Okay, I just listened to that, and what I had to say was really interesting and pretty deep. And I want to go just a little further. Let's add just a few minutes to this. And it's what I was trying to explain as far as, I wouldn't call it a vision exactly, of, you know, because it was like I could see all of us turning to God, or knowing about God, whether we believed in Him or not. It was like we all lit up, but I wouldn't say it was like end of Evangelion kind of thing, nothing like that. Just like little pricks of old-fashioned lighting. The original yellow incandescent kind of lighting, if that makes any sense. Of course, then it was just something I saw really quick, and in a fleeting moment as I'm walking down a hallway at work, of all things. But challenges. You know, life throws at us all sorts of challenges. And I was talking about some of my personal ones, but, you know, life can challenge us in physical ways, in mental ways, intellectual ways, and spiritual ways. You know, spiritually, some of us are just flailing in the dark, not knowing that it's really there. Some of us are enjoying it and know exactly what it is, while there's some others shun it and understand a different aspect of the spiritual world in a very dark way. So, you know, something to think about. And on that, you know, like I said, let me move down here. We have challenges all through life. And right now, in the world that we live in, and it was not like this when I was a kid. Not at all. Maybe in the beginnings of it, or past the beginnings. Living as a guy in this kind of near volatile, intolerant, world of masculinity is not easy, and it's not fun, and it can be very scary. and they know what they're doing. And guys, we can't let that dissuade us. We can't let it dissuade us. That's why I had my son in an alternative scouts group. I was a major player in that when he was there. We both enjoyed it. I never got to do anything like that as a kid. And I'm not trying to live my life through him. Maybe to some extent a little, but he really enjoyed it and he misses it. He's doing something else now. And it was a conflict of time. But when you decide to, going deeper here, hold on, I'm almost done, I got to go to work, to take the easy way out and follow your heart, your pleasures, your entertainment, the heat of the moment kind of stuff, whether it's heterosexual or the opposite. You know, lust can be a terrible thing. Whether you make a mistake with a girl, or, I'm so sorry, let me do this, or think you're in love with the opposite sex, you're not going to have the joys of trying to have a kid, because that's the whole point of that act, is trying to create life. It's not for really self-pleasure. It gives self-pleasure, yes, but it's the act of creating life and bringing life into this world. And for those that can't do that, it can be very nearly debilitating on a spiritual level. It can really bring a person's countenance down when it feels like, you know, we can't have our own kid. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's when they adopt. And some people will go all out and adopt not just one kid, but a lot. Many. It's like when they go to the foster homes and go, their eyes are open like, wow, we do have a problem here, because we do. We have too many people, like I said, both ways, that are not taking responsibility, that are taking the easy way out. When you take the easy way out, you knock the girl up and you leave, and you don't realize you just had a kid 10 months later, and you're the father, and you just took no responsibility for it. You were just in it for the moment. That's wrong. And if you're in a same-sex situation, I mean, there might be some of responsibility there for your significant other, which that term was created when I was in college in the early 90s, and all of us were like going, what's that mean? Where'd that come from? Well, that's where it came from. And I'm being a little facetious, but I think I'm allowed to have that kind of leeway here. That when you are trying to when you are trying to do better for yourself, and better not just for you, but for your wife and for your kids, you have to set. You can't keep buying Transformers. You can't keep buying toys. You can't keep buying collectibles and then showing them off all behind you and your treasures to the world as you talk about stuff that really doesn't matter. Stuff that's just not going to last. Things that last are relationships. Things that last are the ties that bind us with the love that the people that we live with. That is long lasting. And it's through that you save your money, and you have to, oh gosh, this broke.
how can I fix it myself? Can I try to save a little money here? Maybe I need to try to do my own oil. Maybe I can try to fix this. Maybe I need to, oh my gosh, I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm a fill in the blank, whatever. I don't know anything about electricity. I don't want to get electrocuted. Well, look it up. We have the internet. We have the YouTube now. The YouTube. There's so much we can learn how to do on our own. Luckily, at the moment, at this time, we are in a free country. We are not overly regulated to where we have to go somewhere just for an oil change, or to have your regulated one brand of windshield wiper that you can only put on your car. And I'm being extreme here, but there's some countries that will not let you do things on your own. Fixing your own plumbing, fixing your a chandelier or a light fixture in your own home, or a light switch or a receptacle, like I've learned how to do. It's not that hard. If you do something stupid, if you've grown up doing nothing but making silly videos or watching silly videos, yeah, you're not learning much. But when you're in the real world and you're being responsible, you have to learn certain things. I'm having to deal with a leaky roof on top of some other things when they come about, and slowly but surely, sometimes you have to be the man of the house. And when there is no man of the house, the woman, the mother, has to try to fill that void. And my wife likes fixing stuff too, and she can. I feel like, I can fix things better than she can, but sometimes she can fix certain things better than I can. So, we are made differently. We have different thoughts. We have different thought patterns. We think differently. We do differently. We look different. I don't want to get into that mess in this video right now. I'm gone way too long. But the challenges of masculinity are rampant. And what we're seeing right now is it being challenged. This is the fight back. When you don't watch that certain Disney movie or that certain movie, or rent that, or buy this, or look at that, or watch that on TV, or turn the TV off when you go, not that commercial again. And we've thought about getting rid of cable. There's a lot of stuff I like watching on TV, but just for the sake of money, finances. When you do have kids, keeping up with yourself is expensive. What about 2 or 3 other people in your own home? If it's not just you and your significant other, or you and your wife, things break down. Things happen. Life happens. Challenges happen all the time. We are always learning. We are never, and if you don't think you're not learning something, you're not in a good position. I don't care who you are, what you look like, your place in society, or how much money you got, or how smart you think you are. We should always be learning. So while my first half of this video was pretty good, one of my better ones, I hate to admit, I just wish I had been a little more concise. I've got to get into work. But thank you for watching. And I did go a little deep this time. And I wish I was at least drawing something for you. But I've just had a lot on my mind. And I felt like that whoever's watching me might also be able to benefit in some of these thoughts, whether you agree with me or not. I'm not here to push anything on anyone else. I'm really not. If you found me, you found me. And so what does that say about your spiritual life? Do you have one? We all have a spiritual life. We all will live forever in some form or fashion. Energy never dissipates. It only transforms. With that, I'm going to roll out. I've got to get to work. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Have a blessed day.